You may not think you're the shit, but there's people in your life that think that. Are you going to fail those people? Are you going to buy into the narrative that you can't? Because if you do, dude, don't even fucking listen to my show. Go be with everybody else. I will never conform to this. We're fucking winners here. We're problem solvers here. If there's a fucking obstacle to overcome, we're going to overcome it. If there's a fucking barrier that needs to be broken through, we're going to fucking break through it. This is what winning is about. And at the end of the day, the world needs winners because winners show the rest of the people what could be. And every single time a single motherfucker wakes up and realizes that they're living less than their potential, that they're achieving less than what they could, that they are less than what they are supposed to be, every single time one of those people wakes up, you did a morally good deed by living your best life. And I want to leave you with this thought. You either are or you fucking aren't. You either will or you fucking won't. You're either going to become or you're not going to become. It's not because of the outside circumstances. It's because of the inside circumstances.
Going, rolling. Mm-hmm. This is 50. Ready? Mm-hmm. Let it rip. Feed me. What were you just going with? So, I saw. You're gonna read that after, but maybe we'll finish with that part of it. But anyways, a little bit of pissed off walk. Another little agitated morning.
Yeah, this was from almost a month ago, but I was walking and then I got like that feeling that it's like, well, now I got to go to work and I really don't want to go. Like that
feeling that a lot of people have, almost everybody has.
So then I'm like, well, why am I mad about going to work? Like, you shouldn't be mad about something that you're like, it's your career to go do. Like,
if you took pride in it and truly enjoyed it.
So then all these reasonings, and one of them was, well, for one, you go into this place and it's like a casino where there's no natural light, there's no, you got to open up a overhead door to try to get sunlight in. That's not natural. Like, that's not something that...
Well, the importance of, like, vitamin D and, like, depression in the wintertime is because a lot of people don't literally see the sun.
You're just going into, like, there's no, like, you're not fulfilling, like, something that you'd call, like, a purpose. Mm-hmm. It's just not, like... I don't know. And then I'm like... So then what do you do all day? You sit there, if you're not eating right, you're not like...
Well, that and just, so if you haven't noticed yet from like you're 40 some days in now, right?
Mm-hmm. 41.
And you've been getting up early. And once you get through that workout or whatever, you get the blood flowing, 7 out of 10 times you feel a lot more positive than if you miss it, if you don't get that workout in, or you just don't get moving. Because when you do that, on that 45 minutes, you're likely listening to like a podcast or something motivational, or you're trying to keep your thoughts rolling in a positive manner as to like why you're doing this, You're digging down into yourself to like, this is why I'm doing it, But the days that you question it and then you start running with those thoughts of like how shitty it is, or like, oh, after this I gotta go to work, and then like you keep going down, like you're spiraling down with like negative things. Well, then when you get to work and then you're in that negative environment, it's just easier to keep spiraling down with negative thoughts. Well, then this gets to me a lot. Like, nobody can change how you feel besides you, right? Like, no matter what happens to you, you're the one that interprets how it's going to affect you, right? If your best friend gets shot in the head, right? You can look at it and be like, your life is terrible, blah, 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 like, and you can just run with that for the rest of your life, how shitty your life is because that happened to you. Mm-hmm. Or you can be positive about it, find some good in it, like, I'm so glad I got to meet that person, be such good friends with them for so long, and like, it's just changing which switch you're going to turn on, right? You're either going to be negative about shit or you can be positive about it. And the more you understand that you are the one that determines how every outlook and event that happens to you, if you're going to be positive about it or negative about it, that's when, like, I think that's when you start having good days. And like, you're just trying to tie together more good days. You're going to have bad days. Like, bad shit's going to happen. Like, yeah, you're going to like if something bad happens, you're gonna take a couple days and like reflect on it or whatever. But you gotta eventually get to the point like where you're finding good in all the shit that's happening. But anyways, I guess what I was going with was like, once you start getting negative about it and then you're in that negative environment, it's so easy just to go with those negative thoughts and feelings, and that can literally ruin your whole day. And then it goes to the next day and the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like just trying to think of why I'm not happy doing certain activities. Like, and it kind of just, I
You
don't know.
want to find fulfillment in what
Yeah.
you're doing, but then like your career choice right now is not fulfilling. But like I knew going into this, like what I'm doing, that I'm literally doing it for the paycheck right now because I want to raise capital to start investing in things that I actually care about. It's one of the fastest ways to get the capital right now for me. Eventually, there's going to come a time where I have to say, all right, I'm done with this. It's full-blown balls to the walls into what I want to do now. Because I can't just keep using the excuse of, oh, one more check, a little bit more money, then I'll try. Like, I'm building it now, like working on learning real estate, putting money into it. Like, we're gonna learn by doing it and failing, right? Way more than we're just gonna learn by just sitting here waiting 10 years, reading every book and like.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess that kind of tells into what we're. I mean, if I still want to kind of tie back into this, but that's why we have a goal in the next couple months here to buy another property. If we fail, fuck it. Like, at least we failed now and not 10 years later, and hopefully we can keep on learning new stuff and
but
not failing.
I don't think it's not like you're gonna fail to where you're gonna have to start over. It's gonna be fail and then learn for the next one.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be like a
end all type situation. But that's also why, like, I went to work. Like, that's why I'm working right now to save up and build that like backstop. You'll hear a lot of people say you shouldn't have that backstop because then you have that comfort of not taking the step forward, you know? But I don't think that's how I'm wired. Like,
yeah.
Like, I know that I'm doing it so in the long run it like saves my ass.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a fail and then you're like, well,
Oh,
that didn't work. Now what's gonna happen? I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, well,
This sucks ass for a couple years of.
well, it's gonna be like, well, this didn't turn out exactly the way we thought. So what do we have to do for the next
here's
one
why. Here's why. Here's what we have to change. Here's
to
what
become more profitable?
Yeah,
It's
and
not
more
gonna be
efficient. The more efficient we can become, the more profitable it's going to be.
It's not like you're gonna buy a house and then it's just gonna, like, oh,
Yeah, I
we're
think
broke. We
for those
can't-
of you that don't know, I'm thinking like one of the first episodes we talked about, like, I want to get into buying real estate properties. Like, that's what I want. Investment properties, whether it's single family or multifamily. Eventually, I want to scale it so that I can buy like literally apartment complexes, or if it gets to that freaking point, dude, I will buy a hotel, renovate that bitch, and that will be another property. Like, that's what I want to do. And right now, it's just getting started.
Yeah.
It's small little stuff like investing with others right now. This house, I said a year ago before that was even questionable if we could even buy the thing. Like, if it becomes a thing, we are going to do it. Like, if that is an option to be sold, we are buying that house because we know we can get a good deal on it. It's a single family home, 3-bed, 2-bath. That's exactly what we're looking for. Out of date. We want to renovate it. Maybe we want to rent it out. I might just refinance, take a cash out refinance, and just buy another property right away. But we're moving in here in the next week. It's got a lot of finished work to get done, and that's my drive to get it done, is to refinance it, take that money, and buy another property. I know people are gonna think it's fucking crazy because it's like, oh, you're leveraging your own home. But like, people think their home is their best asset. The only time it becomes an asset is if you're using it as leverage to further yourself. Like if you can use your house as leverage to buy another property or put money into a business, then it's an asset. It's not an asset just sitting there. It's not making you money. You're pouring money into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if push came to shoves and you're relying on your house as an asset, and now you have to use that asset for capital,
Yeah.
you have nowhere to live. Like, now what do you do?
Yep. Yeah.
Unless you have like a $3 million house
I have been into
and you want to downsize to a $100,000 house, you know,
that's a whole different situation. Yeah. But who are you going to run into? You know that.
But if you're in a $180,000 house, what are you going to downsize to, a $60,000 house so that you can? I mean, I guess if that's
the route. But here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand that that's not like an option to do, or like they won't sacrifice the years to go to. So actually, I have a perfect example of this. One of the guys that I work with built his house 2015, $300,000 with the property, sold it 2020 for $600 some thousand. Instead of going out and buying a brand new home, bigger home, he's now living in a $80,000 home, paid off another property, paid off vehicles, and now looking to build his own home again.
Say that again.
He took that money and put it.
No, start from the beginning. He took a what?
Did you miss it?
No, I heard it, but I just want to make sure I comprehend what you said.
Okay.
You said a lot of numbers. I'm a little slow sometimes.
Okay. So in 2015, he took $300,000, built a home, a 3,500 square foot home.
Yeah.
And the property on it.
300,000.
300,000.
Okay.
A little bit more, but it was like damn near 300. And in 5 years later, was able to sell it for over 600,000.
Yeah.
So now he had another property, put money towards that, and then paid off other debts that he had, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, instead of going and buying a $200,000 home, or literally could go out and buy another $600,000 home, because you'd still have $200,000 to put down on a home, went and bought an $80,000 house. Now he's going to live there for a year, 2 years, however long he has to, till he feels it's right to build another one, or finds a spot that he wants. A lot of people won't do that kind of, like, a lot of people could sell their home and do that, but a lot of people won't, because they don't want to be that uncomfortable feeling of downsizing into a home. Like, a lot of people hold a ton of value in their home and how people see them, like keeping up with the Joneses, you know what I mean? Like, they won't just go eat shit for a little bit to help further themselves, like, say, into retirement or whatever. So many people bank on a retirement plan of, oh, my 401k or my pension's going to do it. Like, dude, by the time we're that old, we're not going to have a pension. For those of you that don't, like, look into unions and stuff and how pensions became a thing. It was all corrupt. If you don't think that some of that shit is still, like, your money's going in the pockets of corrupt, like, crooks, politicians, like, that's where our money's going. We don't, our pensions, like, they actually take our pensions and are investing that. So what happens when the market goes to shit? Like, all that money is gone. In 2008, people's retirement plans, everything wiped out.
Yeah.
Now you're starting over. They sell that to you to keep you feeling comfortable. Like, this is what I'm working for. This is what I'm going to have. Dude.
Well, basically, you're paying. So they're going to take their pension money, and that way you don't have it. They can control what happens to it. And then that keeps you on the hook to work until you're 55, 60, 65.
To draw from it.
So before you can even draw from it. So now you don't have a retirement, and that way you rely still on the unions sitting there paying dues, where they got their hands in your pockets and all your benefits.
Yep.
Dude, if you look
my thing is do not rely on somebody else to set you up
No.
for your financial future.
No.
With today's technology, spend some fucking time, read a book, read some books. Like, people don't read. Like, Thursday or what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think Wednesday, Jay and I were talking about, man, I'm running out of material. Like, I've got a shit ton of books, but I've read them already. Some of them I've read 4 times. That's just so I can comprehend the knowledge and store that knowledge so that I can share that with other people and help myself. But it's time for more stuff. Like, I went and spent $80 on books. People think that's insane. What, you spent $80 on that? You just spent $160 at the bar last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where the fuck's that gonna get you? Yeah, it's fun in the moment, but think about like the long term. There people are so short-sighted and so focused on that gratification of right now, having all the best new stuff, having fun. Like, yeah, I want to have fun and do a bunch of. I love doing stupid shit, but I just want to get to.
I'm gonna have my fun.
Yeah, dude.
Flying on my private jet down to my Airbnb and fucking.
I wish you guys
Florida.
knew some of the numbers that this kid has been doing in the last few years. Like, I can 100% guarantee you, by 40 years old, he is going. Oh my.
Who?
You, dude.
Me?
Yeah. Like. I all it takes is just one, spending the time in yourself to learn things and then just to build some confidence to talk to people. Like,
Yeah.
We were talking in the last episode, just networking with people. You'd be so surprised on the people that you can meet that are so many years ahead of you and can like show you the mistakes. Like, I'm talking about financially literate people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna, dude, another like bothers me is like there's so many people like in their 40s and 50s or like, oh yeah, don't do this with your money. You got to do this. Well, it's like, what the fuck do you have to show for it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got a house, you got a nice vehicle, blah blah blah. Yeah, but you got loans on all of it. What's bringing you cash flow besides your job? If they took that job away from you, you would be fucked within 6 months. You'd be living off the government in 6 months. That's another thing that's crazy about like this whole freaking virus and all that. Like,
Oh boy, we're getting shadow banned.
yeah, we're gonna get shadow banned. We're looking at 2 views on this one. No, I'm not. I guess we won't go too far into that. But like, look at all the people that lost jobs, and then the government just pumps money out. Like, oh, we'll save you. So many of those people didn't have 2-3 months worth of savings to pay for stuff. Everybody just lives check to check, relying on that check to pay for their next their next outing. Don't rely on that. Like, there's so many more ways.
The biggest thing that they pump when you get in the trades is that, like, we get the 55-30, we can retire, so you can pull a full pension at 55 with a minimum of 30 years vested into the union. And when I first got in, I'm like, oh man, 55, that's my goal. I'm gonna be retired.
Dude, I can remember, like, I can see your mindset shift. Like, that's what I think one of the coolest things is, especially now that we're like.
Well,
I really want to like teach him, like, both learn together about like the real estate aspect. Like, I'm super excited for that. Sorry, anyways.
Yeah, I got in and I'm like 55. Like, my dad's almost 55. He ain't gonna be retired for another 10, 15 years. You know, he's gonna work till he's almost 70. You know, I'm 55. I'm gonna have it made. I'm gonna retire at 55. Then all of a sudden, I start looking into my benefits and how the union has all their hands in my pockets. That's where they fuck you, is in your benefits, where nobody takes the time to look. And I'm finding all this, and I'm talking to our BA, and he literally, okay, so to backtrack, I'm like, once I started figuring out, like, they got their hands in my benefits, like, that's a fact. Then I'm like, now I'm gonna rely on this fucking pension that also they gotta have their hands in it.
Dude, it's
a
business for them.
Yeah,
like,
there's
a reason they want more and more and more and more people to keep coming.
Yeah, so then where it really shifted was we have it's a dollar bank. You get $1 an hour in your benefits, and that goes into a fund that if you get laid off, it'll pay for your insurance. Well, it maxes out at like $1,800 or something like that a year. And it won't carry over year to year. So once you're maxed out, you're maxed out. And I'm like, all right, well, on average, I work about 2,000 hours a year. And if it's not going to roll over year to year, where is that money going? That's like $2,000 a year. If I'm maxed out and I work another 2,000 hours, that's $2,000 that's supposed to be in my pocket. If that's in my benefits, and I look through our contract, it doesn't say. So I go to the BA, because they put you through, and one of the classes we got to take is a union blowhard class. They get the union, got big up union guys in there, and they sit you all down and they tell you how great the union is, and it's a brotherhood and this and that. So then afterwards, I'm pissed, and I corner the BA, and I'm like, so the dollar bank, where does that money go? And he's like, well, what do you mean? That's to pay for your insurance if, heaven forbid, you ever got laid off and couldn't pay for your insurance. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's good, that's fine. But it maxes out, right? Yep, you'll be maxed out. And I'm like, well, then where does the extra money go? Well, if you read through the contract, I'm like, I read through the contract. It doesn't say anything about it in there. Well, and he's beating.
You don't know.
He's beating around the bush is what he's doing. And all of a sudden, I get another guy that's next to me, and he's hearing what I'm throwing down, and I'm literally cornering the guy, like, won't let him. I'm like, tell me where the money goes. Like, where the money goes. You're just not telling me.
Yeah.
Finally, I get it out of him. No, once you're maxed out, there's that month. Your contractor's still paying $1 an hour. Where is it going? It's not going to me. I'm not getting a check every month saying, oh, you're maxed out in the dollar bank. You worked extra hours this year. Here's your money.
Yeah.
Where's the money going? Well, that goes into a general fund. Well, what's the general fund? Well, that pays for if the union does this or that. And I'm like, well, why isn't that in the contract? Well, that's what it takes to be a strong union. Word for word, that is a direct quote. So what it takes to be a strong union is for you guys to basically illegally take my money. And you don't want to, you knew from the beginning, and I just had to sit here for 15 minutes to pry it out of you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to say, though, is it's the unions were corrupt, like, with the mob. Like, that's how all this shit became a big thing and a big push.
They get you because you make a higher wage than if you go non-union. Like, on the check, you make good money. But
that's what I mean. They're just selling that retirement and the benefit to you. Like,
they got there, and that's one thing that I found. Like, there's so
more.
many more. There's
more.
got to be so much more. And then that's when I'm like, I can't trust these fuckers that I'm gonna get my pension and that it's gonna be a full pension. And then it comes down to how you could actually compound that money that is owed to you. And I'm like, fuck the pension, give me the money, let me invest it.
Take $2,000 a month. If you take $2,000 a year and you can invest that at your own rate,
And I'm like, and then at one point, at some point, I'm like, why would anybody we have an allocation meeting where every year, whatever we negotiate for a raise, if it's $1.50 for 3 years, I think was our last raise. Now we got to allocate where that $1.50 goes. So some goes to the local pension, some goes to the national, some goes to the check. And
so you get a quarter out of that.
Yeah, and we go in there, and all these guys, we got to put it on the local pension, the whole thing. And I'm like, are you fucking crazy? I'm like, at some point, we need to say, fuck Social Security.
Yep.
Give me that money.
Yep.
And well, how are people gonna? Well, if you didn't put the work in, and you can't retire till you're 90, well, that's on you. And it's gonna take one generation to do that, where nobody can retire, and then that following generation's gonna learn, and eventually it's gonna.
Yeah, but it has to come like.
But they don't want that. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, the government doesn't want that. They want you relying on that Social Security, relying on this and that to be able to retire. You know, it's like
in a way, like, so they talk about how like our generation, like they don't want to work, they don't want to do stuff. It's like it almost could be a blessing in disguise if all of a sudden they didn't have all this money to keep pumping into Social Security, you know, as long as it didn't flip where the government started taking control of everything.
Yeah.
But if we weren't all pumping that money into it because all of these people our age didn't want to go work these jobs, or they're online making money, or like doing different things where like not so much like, just, I'm not trying to say like you just got rid of like the unions where they were putting money into it, but eventually where there was no funding for all these retirement plans, where it came down to the individual again to set themselves up for retirement, like it was 100 years ago instead of in the last 50 where they just.
Well, unions are a good idea. Like the idea of it, like if you're at a contractor and you're looking for a raise, and say you're gonna one guy going to a contractor saying, I need a raise, I need some benefits.
Yeah.
That contractor is gonna go, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
But if all of you go, there's obviously power in numbers.
Yes.
So like the idea of it is a good idea.
It's just where the money's going.
But now it's become so corrupt that
Well, it has been so corrupt and the past,
it gets worse.
Yeah.
Because now
years.
it's all swept under the rug.
Well, that's what people would in the like. I think it's like the 80s was when there was like huge fights for all of it, like like where the money was going and all that. But I think we have such a generation of fucking vaginas that no one will, like you stepping up and saying that, or you actually comprehending and understanding that you're not getting all of this money. It's going somewhere else. There's so many people that have no idea, where now we just have like you, and then all of a sudden 5 people hear about it. Well, then they tell more people. Like eventually that's kind of what you need to see, like analyzing all the aspects of it to say like this is bullshit. And then you, like you said, there's power in numbers. The more people that can call it out and say this is bullshit, that's when they're going to start changing things.
But you get so many guys, like I'll bring it up at work, and people, they just don't care.
They're so focused on
they see the bigger number.
Yeah.
They see the numbers, and that they're making a comfortable.
Yep, they're comfortable.
They're
with
comfortable.
It.
And I was just listening to an Andy Frisella podcast on my walk today, and the whole idea of it was, society glorifies mediocrity and villainizes success, causing people to get frustrated and discouraged at reaching their big goals. So you talk to guys about how the unions got their fingers in your pockets, but they see that comfortability on their paycheck and they don't care. They know they can pay for their boat. They know they can pay for this. They don't care that.
Yeah.
Because it's that mediocrity.
It takes a mindset shift for you to actually care. And people, so that new book, Relentless, well, actually it's a little older book, but the one new to us, I'm so excited to read that because I think we already have such a different mindset than a lot of people that we like talk to. I wonder how much more intense it's going to change. But I think that's what it takes, is like, that's, people have to put the work in themselves to learn things, to look at things in a different light. And if they don't do that, we're always going to be the crazy ones, you know? But there are more people out there like us that have different views and I guess understand things a little different than what they seem to be.
Yeah.
Everything's not what it seems to be. And I think people are, comfort, is going to be the word I'm using. People are just comfortable with how they're doing now, that they don't care to look deeper into things to truly understand what they are.
They're comfortable with that mediocre lifestyle that everybody has, and
you're the fucking oddball if you're not satisfied with the norm.
Yeah.
And dude, I've like I have been that way since the last 8 years for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got so much shit back for it, but it's so nice to like slowly start seeing people be like, hey, like I kind of like how you have a different outlook on things. Like maybe you're right about this. Like I'm not saying we're right about everything we say, but I just think we look a little deeper. We read between the lines a little bit more than a lot of people. And that's when you start seeing the bullshit.
Well, I just look at like myself, and then I started looking at like other people and how everybody has like a unique talent.
Yeah.
And, like almost like a gift. Like
Yeah.
somebody can be really good at something naturally that I'm really bad at.
Yeah.
But they're not even using that, like, because they're just so comfortable with being.
They're afraid to take that step out and.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And utilize it.
Dude, like, there's so many people I know that have such good skills at shit that is like so tough, like woodworking.
Yeah.
But every excuse in the book as to why they can't go do their own thing or can't do this or that. It's like,
and it's because society is. They literally
they'd have that
glorify
pushback.
mediocrity.
Yeah. Dude,
They glorify going to work every day, which is good, but going to work at an unfulfilling job and retiring.
in this country, like us being able to do that and have like the freedoms outside of it, right? It is amazing that we have that, right? But a lot of people don't take advantage of that. They still lock themselves down for 40, 60 hours to go enjoy the 20 on the weekend. In a way, don't take this the wrong way, I guess. Like, I love that we have the freedoms we have, but right now we're kind of seeing all that being tested, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, we are just like other countries by living just for the paycheck. I don't know how to make that sound not like it's frickin' like a communist China type thing, but those businesses,
Wow, I think that
they all rely just on you to come for that check.
right.
And then your government, your society pushes it, and then you got to have the best of the best. But what do you have to do? You got to keep showing up at that shitty job instead of maybe living below your means for a few years to find out what you really want to do, or like put your effort into that and then try to scale it into something. But we get a lot of our information from other people that have had success doing what they love, right? So that's what we're trying to do. Find what we love to do and enjoy and truly enjoy it, so that we feel fulfilled and actually have like a happy, fun life. You only have one. We have one fucking shot. Why be miserable for 40 years to enjoy 10 or 15? Like, and that's if you even get to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that, and then you look at retirement. It's like, oh, retirement's going to be so great. I'm not going to have to go to work every day. I'm not going to have. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to You're going to get so bored and so depressed sitting around doing nothing all day.
That makes a good point, because I'm not saying don't go to work.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find something that's fulfilling. If you have to go eat shit at a job that you hate for years, at least do it so you have an end goal in mind of where you want to get to. I am 100% for putting in the fucking work to get where you want to be. But don't just lock yourself down and say, this is it.
Right. And that's how I started, was I saw 55, and then I'm like, well, I'll eat shit till 55, and then I can just do nothing. Like, I don't have to do this. And I had no end goal.
Yeah.
Where now it's kind of switching to, I want to do something that I don't care if I ever don't retire.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm going to enjoy it so much going every day. And like, there's going to be days that I'm not going to want to do it.
It's fulfilling to work.
Yeah.
Like, it is. Like, that self-satisfaction of putting in the work and having an end result. Like,
yeah.
Like, it is super rewarding when you can go out and buy like a new vehicle or buy a home, or like, but do it within your means. Don't just don't do it to keep up with other people or because somebody else has it. Like, do it because that's truly something that you love. Like, if you're into fucking super collectible Barbie dolls or whatever the hell it is, like, work for that. Like, if that's what you want to do, and like you want to run a museum on Barbie dolls, like, that would be freaking fantastic. But like, that's your driving force. Like, everybody has to have a driving force that's fulfilling to them, not to society's like norm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't know.
That was a rant.
I get a lot of. I don't want to put my tinfoil hat on for this one.
Yeah.
So I got to be careful.
No, we should do an episode of that.
Tinfoil hat episode.
Yeah, like a late night special. Just the old tinfoil hat. Sit around the fire and get a little. What is the word? Philosophical.
Yeah.
I like that episode when they have that. The thing is, though, it's not even like. It wasn't even tinfoil hat, dude. That was like the truth. That was the real shit that's like actually going on. What episode is that? I should Google that.
I don't know. It was early, like January this year.
I'll share that.
Tinfoil hat episode.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah, because you're like, well, you said before something about like we're not communist China or something like that, and I'm like, well, fuck, dude. When our president says, "We the people," that means the government. If you're not looking at that,
I shouldn't
like,
even laugh at that.
If you're not looking at that, like,
fucking
what the
stupid.
fuck did he
That
just
is-
say?
And we can change the Constitution. Like,
Yeah.
Like that. He said that shit. For those of you out there that don't want to believe any of this, that think, oh, this is the greatest president. This is the best government we've had. They're here to save us. No. Look at the shit they say.
When you need the government for saving, well, that's on you, I guess.
Oh,
But we the people, that means the government. I literally sat there for like 15 minutes and was like, what the fuck did he just say? The government is literally put in place to control. And it was put into place to control for good means.
Yep.
But if you're looking at we the people
As
the government, well, now you're just basically a zombie and a fucking pawn for the government.
This kind of will go on to what you're saying, but yeah, the tinfoil show. Oh, Grizzy's here. I wonder if Dad's here. The tinfoil show, and it's episode 90 of Andy Frisella. All right, pause. And we're back. 6 hours later. It's been quite a few.
6. Yeah.
Is it really?
6 or 7, yeah.
Well, we're going to continue a whole different conversation. I don't exactly know where we left off, but I know that Pops walked in the door to come help do some plumbing in the bathroom. And then we just kind of called it a day for the podcast. But now we're going to bring it back, and we now have a guest with us.
Hello.
The owner of this home.
The
Wonderful.
true owner of the home.
Oh, yep. Here we go. My sugar mama.
It's Anna. It's me.
It's me. It's been a long time since you came on.
Yeah, somewhere in Jason's house, we were talking about
Like January.
Buying the house.
buying the house and how you were scared that it was haunted. Mhm.
It still might be.
It still could be because Grizz does not like being in here.
I wouldn't say that.
I
It's
think
not
he's-
that he doesn't like being in here. He doesn't want to be here for an extended period of time.
He gets bad vibes. He just wants to go sit in the car.
Yeah, that one day I came here
He wouldn't come in, dude.
and he's just loaded up in the back of the truck and I'm
For the whole day.
yeah. He'd come out and walk around and then we'd be like, "Where's Grizz?" "Oh, he's in the truck again."
Oh, no. Why'd you leave the door open?
Because he was comfy there. He wanted to be there. I gotta figure out.
I think he's scared that we're leaving him.
Yeah, I think he thinks we're just gonna leave him there. Like Like I went to college and again or something, and he's not coming with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he knows that we're obviously doing something here.
But he has a girlfriend, and
Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna like it. He's gonna like it more than he thinks. I'll go on walks. His cousins are around.
His girlfriend's next
Yeah.
door.
what better life could you ask for? There's so many different smells here. You can just piss on all the fire hydrants.
They know that we're talking about a dog, right?
Yeah, we've
Okay.
talked about Grizz before.
Okay.
And you'll hear him in that right before we switch this conversation.
He barked.
He came in, he's like you could hear him and he's whacking his tail against shit. Well, anyways, we didn't get a ton done today, but we got some major stuff done. The room's ready for carpet.
Wow.
The lights in the bathroom are done. The
Mhm.
TV stand's ready. So once the carpet's in, all that can get placed, and then I'll be able to watch my
Well, no.
Bigger Pockets videos.
We gotta get internet.
Yeah, we do.
There's a.
We have to.
project.
Do you know if we have? So there's never been internet ran here.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work?
When I lived at my great grandma's house in Fond du Lac, and you called Charter or whatever,
Mhm.
Spectrum, and they came and they like ran a wire from,
I think there's a pole out there.
so then they like run a wire and bury it, and then they do all that.
So you got to pay for a little bit extra. Like
I don't know if I paid extra for that
They-
or not. I don't know.
They
They
came
honestly
to our
might-
door a couple weeks ago, and they were like, "If you do it within the next week, you get the free hookup." And it looks like this has never had it before. And I was like, "Oh,
I don't know.
okay."
I'm pretty sure you can negotiate all that.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna have to do that. I'm not paying for them to hook that up.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna talk to Joe and see if they see what they had to do, or if they already had it, or if they're just running through
Pretty sure if you called Spectrum and you're like, yeah,
and that we've never
you're gonna make me do that. All right, I'll go to Time Warner, and they'll be like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking, because they know you're committing to the contract, so they're gonna make their money up
Mm-hmm.
in 2 months.
It literally took the guy like an hour.
Dude, the price of that stuff is stupid.
I pay like $70 a month
Yeah.
for just internet.
That's what we're looking at. $69.99,
And that-
but only for a year, and then it goes up.
Hmm.
Yeah. At Spectrum, you only get like introductory.
What is
price.
what is your thing, like 100?
$70.
No.
megabits per
Oh.
second,
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know.
Because there was like a 100,
and then up to 400.
400, and then like a-
900.
and I think we're doing the 400
The 400 was $69.99.
because we want to stream and
Yeah.
like I'm not watching a video and having it just stop.
Yeah. I don't know. Mine's probably only 100.
Then I wonder, with it only being two of us instead of like a whole household.
A lot of it comes down to your router too, having like a good router.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we could try the cheaper, and then upgrade if we need to.
100 to 400 though, like.
That seems like
And
so
if we're gonna
much
have
more.
computers hooked up to it, TVs, your phones, like 100 for Jay by himself might be good, but like
Mhm.
now you're doubling it,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe it is worth just to go.
Yeah.
I guess Joe would probably know better about.
Yeah, I'm not real tech savvy that way.
He'd be able to lay out like why exactly this, or each phone uses this much, and yeah, we'll have to ask him too.
Yeah, my internet's shit in Fond du Lac.
Really?
It cuts out all the time. I think I gotta call Spectrum and see what the deal is.
Yeah, maybe that's what
That's
they're
what
waiting for.
that's what I don't want. Like that would piss me off. I hate when you're
But-
watching something and it stops to load.
When I watch stuff, it doesn't, but if I'll play Call of Duty, it'll randomly just cut out.
Mhm.
It's annoying.
Yeah, I don't really game, but say we do, or people over and we're like we want to do that, and then you can't, because that would just be annoying. Oh, sorry, we can't do that because internet's dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But she put a post out on Facebook, and a lot of people said that.
No, just 2.
Well, 100%.
2 people said Spectrum or Charter. I really expected more people to say something. Oh well.
So what has been your favorite part and your least favorite part of the house so far?
And then, what are you most excited for?
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you answer these questions?
I did last
Mhm.
week.
And you're not gonna tell me what you said?
You gotta listen.
I
No,
didn't
you got to
get
listen. We
there
need
yet.
those streams.
Yeah, we need more listeners.
Oh,
Share it with a
okay.
friend. Yeah, we do ask. We just promote it to a friend if you guys enjoy it. Give us even. We're gonna do it anyways, but that just gives us that much more of an incentive when we know that people like it.
All right.
Like each week, we find somebody new that likes listening to it, and then we're like, yeah, let's do another one.
Least favorite part should be easy.
I was gonna say the least favorite part is redoing things we already did because we did them wrong. But I mean, it's a learning process, so it's also a good thing. It's just like frustrating.
We need to learn it because we got a lot of more investment properties coming up.
I thought you said you didn't want to do it well like this, like we did.
My next property would not be to this extent. The only
Okay.
reason I did
Just like
that
a
was
room.
because, well, it would be like your basic stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
doing your paint and all that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to knock down walls and that again.
Depending on if it's like an older home and the kitchen's really small or like something's really small and we had to like,
Open it up.
I would definitely do that just because I know the value of it's going to be so much more.
Mm-hmm.
But like we did so many different walls.
And yeah, it was so
And we
dirty.
removed plaster. Like we took all that down, started over. Like, yeah, it was just, and we were so close to be like a spot to dump it all for free, where it was like, well, we might as well just do that.
And my favorite part has been just like seeing it come together and it being to our vision. Because
That gratifying feeling.
yeah, yep, like once the floor was in, it was like, holy crap, that looks so much different, and I love it.
And the cabinets actually look really good, I think, with
They-
this floor.
Yeah, yep.
The old floor, I'm excited to like make a album on Facebook and Instagram of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just comparing it, like each different step. Because I have so many pictures of like the demo process, and then I think you have a lot of
Before. I have a lot before.
we touched anything.
We could have done more during. I felt like there was such like little things done that I was like, oh, I don't want to take a picture. Or
or you're just in it and you're just
Uh-huh.
doing this stuff where you don't even like. All of
Don't
a sudden you
think
get
about
done
it.
and you're like,
And then
oh,
all
I
of
didn't
a
even take a picture of like the process. I just did.
Yep.
Like I think I have a couple of them. We ripped down all the plaster and then all like the lath and moving studs, and I think I have a couple of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, adding the cabinet doors, the faces back on, really put it together. The kitchen.
Wait till the handles and trim and all that's done.
Mm-hmm.
They say once your like Ben was like, yeah, once the carpet's in, it gives you like that new home smell. Like it just pulls everything together.
Well, and doesn't it like soften the sound? It doesn't feel so echoey.
like
because
right
there's-
now, and you can hear it definitely when you're in here. You can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So it looks like this next week we'll be moving in, and then I start my side work, and then it's up to you. I'm pretty
Up to
excited.
me.
I'm excited for that though. Get a little bit of housework done on the weekdays, and the weekends are gonna be reserved for pouring patios and putting in new driveways and garage slabs.
Getting a tan.
Oh yeah. Mm.
Jason, do you tan? You tan. Like you tan not.
Yeah.
I shot.
Yeah, I actually tan pretty well. I think it's the Italian in me.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
genetic to have, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
like
jealous of people that just get like dark. It's like Jake, he'll see the sun twice, and all of a sudden it's like, dude, you're darker than these barrels. Like I don't know how.
He is. He's dark right now. His arms and face.
I lose it really fast too, though.
Oh, dude, I hate when fall comes because I'm like, oh, here we go. It'll be white as a ghost in 3 weeks.
It makes you feel so much less confident. I don't know.
I love being tan. Yeah, you gotta chew on the mic when you. There you go. Much better.
That's my signature move.
Woo!
I don't know.
Kyle does that at work. He said, he's like, yeah, I'll be sitting in well, now he does it in the gym all the time. He'll just be like, woo!
No, that's like that or like mine.
No, it doesn't. He just goes, woo! Like he does like a little howl thing. And he's like, yeah, I'll be in the assembly, and all of a sudden, whoo! And then all the way across the plant, somebody be like, whoo! And does it back. And then he's like, there's one guy who all of a sudden will just go, and he like starts mooing across the plant. I'm like, well, at least you guys are having fun at work.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, right now our job site's like a boot camp. Literally, one of the foremans for like the masonry came, and we did the JHAs and stuff in the morning. He looks at one of the laborers and he's like, "It's like a boot camp." The guy just started dying laughing. I'm like,
What were you doing in the morning?
like the safety meeting and stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's like, "It's like a boot camp," and we just like he told me that later in the day. I was laughing so hard. I was like, dude, I was laughing so much. I'm like, we literally said the week before, "Welcome to Buds." Like we call it's Hell Week. It's all
That
right.
does not sound fun.
It's not the most fun job site, but I in a way I get why they're so picky about like what we're doing now, because it can't be messed up or it will mess up the whole thing, because this is the beginning of if you don't get the bottom of it right and you build up.
When the bones are good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's like you get it, but it just like sucks. But in a way it's like
Making you better.
yeah, it is making you better. So like that's one positive thing that I'm taking out of it. I get it, but yeah, you have those days. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I showed Anna your 40 days in transformation.
Looking good, Jay. I didn't want to mention it.
Mental blowy.
Didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to throw Matt under the bus that he showed me.
I'm just being honest with them up front.
Yeah, I wanted to do one like side by side like that, like about halfway through. So.
Well, are you still taking a picture daily?
Yeah, you got to take one daily.
But
then like I wanted to like, because you look at them daily and you're like,
Oh,
if it's
nothing.
every day, you
Yeah.
never notice that. So then
Yeah.
I like edited one that like is side by side, just so I could actually see the difference. Cause
Dude, it's so noticeable. Like,
Yeah.
like so noticeable. It's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing a hardcore. I mean, you are,
yeah,
but like the
Like a super program that you
Yeah.
see on TV or something.
Yeah, like-
you know, like like a P90X transformation, and here you are, 40 days in. It's like, holy shit.
yeah. You wouldn't think that you could actually like get results like that in basically a month.
yeah, because a month doesn't seem that long,
Well,
but
they say that it takes roughly 2 weeks for somebody else to recognize like your changes, and then it takes you like 4 before you fully start to realize them.
I didn't notice anything. I didn't even think I was even making any difference.
really,
Dude, yeah, you definitely are. I think at the end, you probably won't want to, but I think we should put that on the story. Share
well,
it.
it's not like
Yeah,
you
I-
looked bad before, so
Yeah, it's not like you were like in this terrible shape. But like
But-
you can definitely tell you're leaner and you have more muscle mass. For
Yeah.
sure.
But
I
there's
haven't
no-
gained any weight, dude.
That's good though. Like, you know, like you're trying to put on muscle, right? Well, now you know that you're putting on lean mass because you are like leaning out, but your body weight's staying the same.
Yeah, I think I gained like a pound and a half or 2 pounds maybe.
That's really good because you don't want to do it fast too.
Yeah, and like my diet was just a bulk diet basically. So I eat whatever I want, but a lot of it, and I make sure I don't eat like candy or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
anything that's not going to be beneficial.
I feel like a lot of people actually struggle with eating enough.
Yeah.
Like, people think Matt's crazy, but he's actually eating what he should be eating.
Oh, and half the time I don't even make my,
Yeah, your calories that you need.
Yeah. Well, I can't say half the time. The last 40 days I've been pretty freaking like right on where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like, it'll take like, so like I was saying before, is I eat like super pretty like clean from Monday to Friday night. Friday night I'll have like when I'm at the house or whatever, like I'll have a snack or like some odd thing for dinner, like a pizza or something. And then Saturday morning I make sure like I have 2 like high protein meals before. Like I'm due like work on the house or whatever, and then by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I can honestly, I eat random ass foods like snacks, anything I want, but I still won't hit the amount of calories that I'm supposed to hit. So then Sunday I eat clean again, but then Sunday I could still eat like, we could go to Geno's or something, I could still fit that in where I'm like right at my maintenance calories, which is awesome because then I still have a little bit of freedom on the weekend. And I'm still seeing results because I'm locking it in all week.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, I do not miss a meal during the week. Like 4 in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning, I'll go up, have my shake or breakfast, and then that sucks because then I don't get to eat till 9:30 break, and I'm like starving by that time. But then it's the same thing like every single day, and I don't get sick of it. Like one of my favorite things to do is Greek yogurt with a scoop of my protein in it. I mix it the night before, and then by that morning, like it's not even like, if you eat it right away, it's like chalky.
But
if you
let
let
it
it sit overnight,
Mhm.
it all like absorbs, and it's like freaking having a shake.
So then how many scoops of protein do you eat in a day?
5. I get an 11-pound bag for $50.
MyProteinUS.com.
Yeah, check it out. And then I should actually get a freaking discount.
You couldn't get a
code.
discount code, yeah.
Cause like now I'm having like Kyle and like people start using it too, dude. They're third party tested, which is that you want that like like another like company like Informed Choice will come and test your products, so you know that you're getting a quality product.
Mm-hmm. I like protein oats, like the overnight protein oats.
We should do that like in a jar.
Yeah, like a mason jar. That's what
like
I was
a big
doing.
jar.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So I can like just take a half cup out of it. So
yeah, but I probably wouldn't want to have them for like the entire week.
No, like a 3-day thing or a 2-day thing. So you don't have to make it. You don't have to make it every night.
Excuse me.
Bless you. So you don't have to make it every night. But then I'm also excited for like our own food and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I never even
'Cause
finished all that, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, you're excited. Go ahead. That could be your next point. Most excited for.
Most excited for. We talked about this the other night. Creating our own lives, and like right now we're intermingled with my aunt and uncle and Matt's family, and now it's just going to be more about us and making it our own.
Self-reliant. Like everything we do is for us.
Mm-hmm.
Or like on you. It's all on you.
Yeah, it's not Mom's fault she didn't buy any toothpaste.
Yeah. Damn it, Mom, we're out of toothpaste.
Don't worry, I have like 6 tubes, so
You
it'll
know,
last us a
You
month.
want anything from the store? Yeah. Damn it, now we gotta pay for it.
the biggest thing I've noticed from 75 hard though, like, isn't the diet, it's the water.
Trying to get your water in?
No.
I love drinking a gallon of water.
Or just how much better you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water
like,
is a
Dude, so many people don't
Superfood.
drink like a cup of water.
Yeah. I don't feel like I feel if I don't drink like until I'm that like half gallon by like if I don't drink a half a gallon by like 9 a.m. on a work day, I feel
Oh.
like slow and
Yeah,
like
so-
not
yeah.
energized and like
That's me today. I'm a little bit slower because I didn't have my water jug with me.
I'll know on days where I'm like, I'm not drinking enough water, and then I'll get back to break and I'll look at my water jug. Knew it. Like, damn it.
I never knew that. I never drank water, like a lot of water.
I get so much shit about it. I don't know if you guys do.
Well, I feel like
Especially
a
with
douche
your
bringing
gallon
a
jug.
gallon jug
People
everywhere.
do.
I carry a half gallon and people are like, "Oh my god, that
You know
is
what
so
you
much
need?
water."
You need a little koozie on your jug like mine. Then
Yeah.
people are like, damn, where'd you get that? That's sweet. And then they don't even like, you got your jug of water. They're more like, that's awesome. You
Yeah.
know? They're like, does it work?
If I find one at a rummage sale again, I'll get you.
All
Dude,
right.
that thing's awesome.
Actually, I'll have to upgrade Matt's maybe, and then you can have
That's
it.
fine too.
Yeah, you're gonna like it, dude. And it keeps your water like cool all day long. I think I've said that before on here. I don't even put it in the freezer or the
We should-
fridge. I literally just fill it the night before and leave it on the counter, and it's fine all day.
We should look at that because. Do you think they still make those? Because I just found
It's a
that
good brand. I
It's
think
like
it's
an
an
old.
Igloo.
Yeah, but they could still not make them still. Like they might not have gone because people didn't
We
buy
should
them.
we should drop
should
ship
look,
them.
yeah.
We should make a drop shipping company on them.
because they're pretty nifty.
That's
With
good.
the
Or you could get a
podcast logo
hydro
on 'em?
jug
Yeah, dude.
with a hydro
Oh,
sleeve
dude.
like I do.
No, I'm think. Well, then you got to get the certain jug. Everybody, gallon jug. Boom. Go to Walmart. Bam. You're
Mm-hmm. And then
not
you
buying
can
a $20
upgrade, yeah.
jug.
Like my hydro jug actually,
You can switch your
the-
jugs out.
the top is cracking, so it can't tip over.
Yeah.
But
And that's also
your
another
milk jug
thing too.
breaks, you just get
You-
some more milk.
I remember I used to just carry my gallon jug of water without my.
They have them on Amazon.
Oh really?
$25 though.
Oh dude, put our logo on those
I
suckers.
know.
We made a new logo. If you guys haven't seen that on our Instagram, I got to change the YouTube one, but
And the Spotify one.
Ah, that
Oh,
looks
yeah.
pretty good.
All
I
right,
think a
I'll-
professional did it. How
I'll
much
do
did you
that.
pay?
she liked it. She's like, "Who made that?" I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Jay."
Yeah, I got bored one night. I
It
just
looks good,
sat
dude.
down and did it.
I like it. Then we went through a couple different ones, and he's like, "Same idea." He
but-
sent it. I'm like, "Oh, we could do this," and he's like, "Oh yeah, like." But that's what it takes, just like little things to make it more appealing and pop out. Now it's like, I really like it. I think that'll look sweet on.
I like the colors too.
It reminds me of this shirt. I don't know if it says anything.
Reminds me of this shirt, plain black.
No, this the
Yeah.
axe and sledge here to work one, my black one.
Yeah, maybe that's where I like the colors from.
Dude, that would look sick on the back of a long sleeve or oh, dude. I think we should get some of those. We should look into that. How much t-shirts
Yeah.
so far to make with the, even if we got like 10 of them.
Well,
Like-
Because I bet like Kyle and Hunter, like those guys would all get one.
Taylor made T-shirts and she sold them for like $10.
My
I mean, it
cousin
says-
works at a press, or they used to, both of them. That you could. So my cousin has a T-shirt company,
Yeah.
and he said that at that company you basically get like a PDF file with what you want to print it, and you just like it has like a machine that you like press
Yeah.
whatever on.
You should talk to him about it. I would like 10 of them, just to start with
Yeah.
10.
I'll
Otherwise-
text him. Or I'll
Yeah,
snap 'em.
read at Blumke's.
Send him. Do you have a picture on your computer? Take a or just send him the Snapchat and say, hey.
I'm just gonna snap him, ask him what would it entail if I wanted to make my own T-shirts.
Yeah, hell yeah. You'd get one, huh? We'll give you
Duh.
one. That'd be
Duh,
sweet.
I'd get a hat with it on it.
I'll let Dad wear one to
Yeah,
work.
he has hats and everything.
Oh,
at
dude,
that company.
hats would be sweet. I would.
We have to do the actual Flex Fit brand though.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
legit.
not the
Like
shitty
from
hats.
the AAR ones.
Yeah, those
The
are nice.
actual Flex Fit, they
Those-
fit so much better
do
than
like
any
that.
other.
That was a nice hat.
I think it's funny how many less than 4 years ago you never wore hats.
Me?
Yeah,
I didn't wear hats till my junior year of college.
so not that long ago,
Mm-mm.
was it?
And then I used to wear one hat that was just a goofy hat. And then I started actually liking different hats.
Because you got comfortable.
Yeah, now I just wear them all the time. I think it was like my first year out of school where I wore it all the time. So only 2 years.
Good thing. Girls wouldn't have been able to stay off of you.
What do you mean?
I call it. Oh, well, I guess you already had that problem.
I had to wear insect repellent,
To keep them away.
but it was my own. It was more of a mix of cat piss, and it was
What?
pussy repellent. Never worked for the moms, though. There was just something about my repellent.
They probably are used to that smell.
Yeah, it smells like home.
So. Ew.
Sorry, I was texting my cousin. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Smelling like cat piss.
I said I had my own pussy repellent.
At least your cat didn't piss in your boots and you couldn't make it to work.
I hate when that happens.
I don't know, that kid that didn't show up, that just, how, dude?
I think I've literally I've had 2 sick days where I was actually sick, and I hated even calling in for that because I'm like, they're gonna think I'm lying.
Unless I go to the hospital.
Yeah, they're gonna think I'm lying.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Just so devoted.
Well,
For background, Jason. Oh, did you already talk about this
No.
earlier? Okay.
Just to you in the driveway.
Okay.
what I miss?
Jason's
No, and you were there.
coworker called in
Oh yeah.
and said he couldn't come to work because his cat pissed in his boots.
True or a lie?
Oh.
I'm gonna guess.
If it's true,
It has to go down in history as
yeah.
a very unique excuse. The one that got me was the kid, so we start at 6 a.m., and the kid has been known to just not show up to work. And then we're like, well, did he die? And then he'll show up the next day. So we're like, oh, didn't show up one day last week or the week before. We're like, oh, we'll see him tomorrow probably. Text my foreman at 11:30 in the morning. Hey, I just woke up. I think my cat unplugged my charger from the wall. So my phone didn't go off.
Did he come in?
No,
No
my
big
foreman
deal.
was
I only
like,
woke up
Stay home.
5.5 hours late.
How,
oh
dude?
my god.
If you're supposed to be up before the sun gets up and
Yeah.
you're in that routine, he's been
Yeah.
there for 3 years.
Yeah.
It sounds like he was drunk and didn't plug his phone in, and then he slept
No,
because
he
was...
just wanted to stay in.
But why would lying is better if that's actually true?
You might as well not say anything at that point and just wait till the next day and come in.
I mean, maybe, but how did... I've been, closed the bar down, came home, didn't sleep till 4 a.m. on a Saturday or something.
Yeah.
And I still would wake up with the
At
sun.
your time, yeah, at your normal.
Really?
The sun would get
Oh.
up and that would wake me up. And then
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck this, back to sleep.
Yeah.
And then not wake up till
Yeah.
noon. But
Yeah,
never,
but you have to wake up at least once.
Yeah, how do you not
Yeah.
wake up to
He won't,
piss,
yeah.
to do anything?
He woke up. We know. You liar. With that, you'll also have guys that will come in. They'll go out drinking. They'll come in the next day and be like, "Yeah, I was out till 3:30," and they'll be at work at 6. It's props to them in a way for showing
Still
up,
making it.
but it's not very safe because they're probably still drunk or they're hungover, and you're just not on the top of your game. So if you're doing something that, operating the equipment or just overhead, or you're working overhead to somebody, not good.
We had a guy before I started. I've never met the guy, but I've heard stories, and this is how it went down, I guess. Is everyone knew he'd come in and just reek like booze.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd go out on break, go to the gas station and slam beer. And come back, but he just run the plasma table, and I guess he was actually really good at it, actually cared, enjoyed running the plasma table.
Yeah, but he was just an alcoholic, functioning alcoholic.
And nobody really ever said anything about it, because you can't really get hurt, you can't and you're by yourself, you're not doing anything that could harm yourself or others. And he was good at it. until the safety guy came in and smelled it on him at like 8 in the morning, and obviously had to take him in and get breathalyzed. And I guess he blew like a .31.
Oh my gosh. That's like coma.
Yeah, like he was almost legally dead. And he was completely functional. That you would have never known that he was drunk.
Isn't that crazy?
And I'm like, there's no way. And I heard it from not only my foreman that had to go in there and sit with him, but I heard it from like 4 or 5 other guys that worked there that he like blew almost legally dead. And you wouldn't like talking to him.
No, anything.
No way. Like slurring his words.
Just by smelling.
Nope. Just by smell. They took him in. Obviously had to fire him, but.
Oh no.
Isn't that crazy that people can just become that like complacent? Or not complacent, but like so used to being loaded all the time that.
Yeah. Well, he probably, being there at 8 in the morning, probably drank quite a bit before he came to work if he had to wait for his break.
He said his girlfriend got home at like 2 in the morning and they were drinking tequila or something was his excuse. But that still when...
Holy smokes.
He was obviously like slamming booze right before he came in or like at work.
Dude, Dad said when he worked at Johnson Brothers, when they would pour concrete all the time, guys would basically get fucked up every night, come to work, drink like whiskey in their coffee and like...
Where was this at?
When he worked at Johnson Brothers, they sold out...
What'd they do?
Concrete.
Yeah. They were pouring concrete.
Yeah, every day. Like, that's all they did.
And that's how they were?
Form up, pour. Like, multiple pours a day. And people would just be shit-faced all the time. Like, it was common for them. Or, like, and as soon as they were done, they would be slamming beer. And then next day, go again. Like, that's what they did. You don't really see that much anymore. Guys talk about that all the time. Like, they're like, yeah, 10 years ago, we would just, right at the end of the day on a Friday or whatever, right in the back of the trucks, just sitting there and bullshitting at the job site. And then it's like, you don't ever see that anymore. It was like a rare occasion when we all rode together. Like, well, like on a Friday, somebody would bring a cooler of beer on the way home or something. And like, that used to be the norm on pretty much every day. Like, it didn't even have to be a Friday. People just did it. It does create like a little bit better culture in a way of like everyone working together, because like they're unwinding and bullshitting on the way, like an hour on the way home or whatever.
Well, and then it's more enjoyable throughout the day if you can get along with them even after.
I think that's what it is. Like, people, like, you could bicker all day, but then all of a sudden, like, your differences are over when you're just that's their way to unwind or whatever. But we also know that it's probably not like it's not the best thing for you. You know, the best way to get over that kind of stuff. But
we were talking a couple weeks ago that, like, when in middle school, when we learned about alcohol and drugs, like, an alcoholic is it has such a bad connotation, but like, looking at a lot of people we know, like, you could use the term alcoholic, sadly.
But they're still like not good people.
Yeah. Because your drinking is heavy, and not just on the weekends.
Well, I think
but
binge
even then,
drinking is like
drinking,
three or 4 drinks, or is it?
I don't know.
3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, I think so. Or 2 to.
It's not even the amount of drinks; it's the times that you drink per week. It's also wild too, because it is the culture in the Midwest, especially Wisconsin. Seriously, like,
I know
it's insane.
We went to Florida. I wasn't 21 yet, but TJ was 21, and he ordered 2 pitchers of beer. And they're like, "Who are these for?" And he looked at him. He's like, "They're for me." They're like, "We need all of your IDs." And I'm not 21.
Oh, no.
I literally ordered a soda because I knew you're not going to mix beer with soda.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, "We can't serve you these." So he had to literally buy glasses of beer when he wanted 2 pitchers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and you can easily drink 2 pitchers if you're planning on getting drunk.
I can still picture she's looking at him. She's like, "Who are these for?" And he's like looking around like they're for me. Who else would they be for?
That's like when Ben and Hunter and those guys go out to Nebraska, they'll drink a 30 rack a night, and there'll be a bunch of other guys from different states and that, and they'll drink like 2 beers, or like they'll offer them a beer. They won't really say anything, and those guys will like clean the whole rack out, and they'll just be sitting there talking till like 2 a.m. with these guys, and they're like, if I did that, I would be like dead. It's just like, it's just kind of like it's literally, it's wild because like like you were saying before, the first couple weeks of like the 75 hard, not drinking, it is so much different really, because like when you're not doing anything, that's just what people turn to do around here.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the time. You're at a wedding, you're drinking. Like birthday party, drinking. Like any celebratory event. You're at a
baby shower,
you're
wedding
at a funeral,
shower,
you're at a
mimosas.
People are cracking beers after the funeral. Like you're going into a wedding. People are out in the parking lot slamming beers, or like it's.
It makes it a good time, but
You go anywhere else and people are like, what the hell's going on here? You know?
Yeah, I was telling you this morning before we started how you don't realize the mental clarity of not drinking until you're at least like a full month sober.
Oh yeah, it's so noticeable though. Especially like a Friday night or a Saturday morning.
Oh, I love not being
getting up at like 6, like 5:30, 6 o'clock. You have literally 5 more hours in your day, and it adds up so fast. Like the shit that you get done, or even around the house, or that's one awesome thing about how like we timed all this out, because it was right when we started doing the house and all that. It gives you no excuse to stay sleeping in, to not get up, go do stuff, get our workouts in. And then like I just love how productive the day feels. And you didn't realize that how much better you do feel when you're not doing it.
I think alcohol has a big negative effect on muscle growth too, if you're like lifting.
Oh dude, I can be a prime example of that, because I used to every weekend like drink, even if it was just a couple of drinks, but just from not doing that, I've noticed such insane results just like in my lifts, and like because it does affect you for multiple days. Yeah. And if you're drinking heavy, you're like basically your whole week is just fucked. So like I was going to the gym, killing myself all week, seeing like no progress, and I'm like, what the hell? And then Matt would always say like, well, you know, you gotta stop drinking. And it's like, I only had a couple, and then it's like, yeah, but dude, those couple like shuts down your protein synthesis for days.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've seen such good results from it. And then like I was
feeling firm.
You look at Brandon too. Like he stopped for a year or 2 years now, maybe. Like he has a couple once in a while, but very rarely. Dude, he's always killing his lifts. Like he looks so much better than he did.
He is shredded.
Yeah, sure.
I haven't
peeled.
Because he was shredded before.
He got down to like 160. Now he's at in like 180s, and he's still like freaking shredded.
Brandon, send me a picture.
Yeah. Send it to me. I'll show her.
Oh, fine.
I don't want her to save it. I don't look that good.
I don't know. You sent me that one the other day.
Dude, I finally like have my ab. Like they're not shredded abs, but I finally have abs again. I haven't had that since freshman year of college, before I went out drinking every weekend. Like,
and you were skinny. Like
that's a good feeling.
When you had them.
Yeah, you're still built right now.
Like not that you're not skinny, but yeah, you're like.
It's a nice like confidence wise, it's nice, and then just like finally seeing like this is why I work out all the time, to like. So and I was pissing that away all like every week. Yeah, it's definitely nice.
I'm working on my handstands.
Handstands?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
just walking around on her hands in the
Really?
gym all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. My
It's like
brother
her
Zach
thing.
was like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I want to do a handstand."
And now she just walks around like.
I was doing
Really?
pretty good yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I had one hand for like 5 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, but not on purpose. That was on accident. But
I'd be scared of going backwards.
I think you started like just doing it in the open, and then you use the wall.
Yep. And then, I mean, you can do like a TP and just kind of like practice your shoulders in that movement.
Against
There's
the wall.
some, yeah, well, and just like kind of like a yoga pose.
Yeah. Downward dog.
Yeah, there's some tips I watch on Instagram to.
I might try that at home tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's satisfying because it's not easy.
Yeah.
It took weeks, but like you can definitely like.
Well, I'm
you
still
can
working
see
on
the
it. I'm not-
progression, which was cool.
You should get it so you can go up and down stairs like Steve-O from
Yeah.
Jackass.
Yeah.
My dad had a friend from work. He would come over. You know how big my parents' driveway is and the hill. He could go on his hands around the whole driveway, up and down the hill.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like holy shit.
Just like he's walking around.
yeah,
normal.
he would just flip up, walking on his hands.
You ever see Steve-O where he does it? He goes in a handstand and then he grabs the skateboard while he's in a handstand, puts it up on his feet, and then flips and then lands on the skateboard.
What?
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I should see
yeah,
if I
I
can
was-
get a video.
I might have to see that. Don't give me any ideas though.
Yeah,
You ever watch like parkour videos? Remember when
No.
that was like
Hardcore,
becoming-
parkour.
You remember when that was like a big thing?
Yeah.
Dude, some of that shit is pretty wild. Like I would not even think of that, or you think what's really sweet is when it gives me anxiety watching it, when they'll climb on top of cranes that are like hundreds of feet in the air, like in California or New York.
Or on top of
What
buildings.
and would do what?
Yeah, or on top of buildings, like they could be 60 stories high, and they'll just do like a parkour across the frickin' building, that high in the air.
I'm sure
You've
there's
never
been-
seen that?
No, that sounds absolutely terrifying.
People will do pull-ups on the edge of the building.
I feel like people have died from this.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way they don't.
That's awful.
Yeah, or like they'll be on top of a crane and they'll just be taking pictures like hanging.
I have seen some videos like that.
I'll play
or
gra-
like walking out on a
I'll play
ledge.
Grand Theft Auto and do that, and I'm getting scared. It's just my character.
Don't
Yeah, I'm like, don't slip. You know. Then you're like,
holding your breath.
these people are out there actually doing it.
Ugh.
That's not it. I
Oof.
can't find it. Yeah, Steve-O, I read his book, and his book is really interesting. Like,
Does-
just like the mindset he had of like, I'm gonna be like a stuntman,
Mhm.
and that's all he wanted to be. And like,
And he was good at it too, though.
yeah, he is the David Goggins of just doing crazy shit. Like, I've like done a lot of like video watching, and like I listened to his podcast and read his book and all this. He's actually like super, super interesting, and like will do anything for like a stunt and video. Some of the shit that he's done is just
Dude, he
insane.
made Jackass.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious.
Like Bam and Johnny did some wild stuff, but if it was like the craziest of all, it was to Steve-O.
And he's been sober for like before the Jackass number 3, and he's still doing like crazy stuff on his own now. So it wasn't even like you'd think like, oh, he's so loaded and doing all this crazy stuff. It's just him. Like that's the way he is.
Mhm.
That's what he wants to do.
Yeah. I can't find the video, but
That's okay. I'm imagining.
Like how it's cool like what they became just from like you watch old videos where they have like Bam's camera and they're just recording themselves when they were like in high school doing stupid shit. And then they all
They were in high school together?
They all like meet each other. No, I don't think
Two of them?
It was I think they were like separate, and then they kind of like I don't know how they ran into each other. But I remember like old footage of Bam just doing dumb shit.
Mhm.
And then it's cool how they monetized that and became so big.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of reminds me of like Nelk, how those guys are doing all this dumb shit and look how much freaking money they're making.
I haven't watched all the Jackass videos, but
What-
the one I do remember and laugh at every time that I think about it is when they made the big guy put on a sweatsuit.
And he drinks to the sweat.
Yeah, that's
What one
so
is that?
gross.
Number 3.
3.
Oh.
What's your favorite Jackass movie? I think-
3.
I think we watched it at your.
Yeah, my brother, I think, ended up puking.
We
'cause
watched
he
it
was
at
like,
your parents' house.
And when he was drinking the sweat.
Zach used to puke when we'd wrestle or like fight and like mess around. He would always puke.
Well, you'd be so
Dude,
so
I
aggressive.
used to whip up on his ass one time I was babysitting him.
Like alone, like I was not there.
Yeah, I was in high school still, and I was
no.
babysitting him. He's probably like 7.
Yeah.
We had a real good time, and we were just messing around all day. And then finally, Anna came home, and
As soon as I walk
Literally-
in the door,
I like did something to him. All of a sudden, he starts crying, and then
and then he
literally
starts
a
puking.
little bit later, we were like in the living room or something doing something, and then all of a sudden he starts puking and he's crying again. I'm like, well, I swear everything was good before. Like, I feel like he's gonna tell her parents that I'm abusing him or something, or they're gonna hear this horror story of.
Well, I was mad. No, it was something worse than that. Where I walked in and then he started crying and you made him puke, and it was like all at once. And I'm like, you need to leave.
Yeah. It's like, holy smokes! I don't even know what happened.
What did you do to my little baby brother?
Remember when Kyle used to puke all the time?
Yeah,
Yeah, what happened? How do you get over that?
I kind of miss that.
Remember you could just sit at the lunch table and be like, Kyle, so and so sweaty armpits, and he'd be like,
But for
He
real
had
though.
such a weak stomach. He must have had a really good imagination. You know, you say it, and he's like,
Oh.
Oh, the best is when if you made him puke and Dan was close, Dan would start puking. I can remember one time
And the lunchroom.
we are in the lunchroom, and one of the kids was eating like the ketchup and mustard off the side of the garbage.
Shut. I think I know who
Yeah.
you're talking. Yeah,
He
I've
was
heard
just
this
eating
story.
it, and we're like, I think Beak was like, Kyle, look. And Kyle looks over because he's like, no, he's not. Beak's like, dude, look. All of a sudden, Kyle like peeks over and he's like, no. Well, then all of a sudden Dan saw it too. All of a sudden, that same garbage that he's looking at, Kyle and Dan were like, got their hands on the garbage and they're like looking at each other, and each one is like back and forth, like they're just both puking. It was like a movie.
That is so disgusting though to like actually think about what he was doing, like getting the ketchup and mustard off the garbage.
It was.
that one kid would eat his zits.
Oh yeah, dude, all the time.
I'm sure there was more than one kid. Ugh.
Dude,
Oh,
Beak was the
oh.
worst at like instigating it too. He's like, he would see it and then he would just kind of like give you that look, and you're like, oh god. And you
What is it?
Look over and you're like just balls deep in the thing, just picking at them and eating them. You're like, what the fuck?
What even gives you the idea?
It's
to
not
do
even like
that?
eating a booger, you know, like kids
Getting
that
rid of
eating
it.
A booger. They'll just be popping zits and eating them. What in the
That's never even
Fuck.
crossed my mind to do that. Like, why would you even?
You would
like,
want to vomit. That should have been a Jackass
Well,
stunt.
So
like
do you
a
think?
popping a
Do you think
cyst.
he would like refuse?
Gross.
You think
sorry.
he'd like refuse to wash his face just so that he'd get
Could
all
he eat
zitty
'em?
so he could eat them?
Yeah.
What
It
if
could be
that
a-
was the goal? Like pouring bacon grease on his face at night, so when he would wake up. I do feel bad. Like some people have really bad skin, so
Mhm.
sorry for like those kind of people. But
Just we recommend you
Those-
don't pick them
those-
and eat them
those creatures.
in public.
I used to have really bad skin. I did.
I know, all over your body, not all over your back.
Hit my back and my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. Now I'm like once in a
no,
while.
it's
I
the
get
water. Honestly,
better diet.
Now you're off the roids.
Yeah, I wish I could get on some.
No.
No, it would be cool to try, but I think I would, if I like literally took steroids, I think
Trend.
I would get addicted to it. Well, one, your body gets like addicted to it, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like kind of fucked because you have to keep like, then you got to keep taking stuff. But it would be like Seth says, like Superman drugs, dude. There's nothing better than killing a workout, and then imagine putting that on top of it.
That dude looks like Superman.
Dude, he does.
Seth?
Mm-hmm.
He looks awesome now. He's like
Seth Rossi.
He's basically my weight right now, 210, but he's
But-
huge.
But he's
Jacked, like his-
my height. He's 5'7".
Huge.
5'6", 5'7".
Oh my gosh. And his arms are like twice the size.
Oh,
His
at
shoulders
least.
are so round.
Yeah, dude. That's one awesome like thing on his shoulders are just bowling balls. Dude, like
Would you?
if Jake didn't drink and had a clean diet, he's like Zach. Zach has the genetics to be like a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Jake's like a mesomorph body type where like they touch a weight or eat food, they just blow up. That's those two. Like Dylan Jeanette. Like,
Yeah.
Like
Matt.
yeah, like well Matt freaking he has to work his ass off. Like look at him like now and like
Yeah,
when
that's
when he's
true.
not lifting crazy heavy, like he'll go down to like 180.
Yeah, but that's with, I mean, I guess.
No, some people like
But Zach, if he wasn't working out, he wouldn't be a.
he would be a big guy still.
Yeah.
He would be a big guy. He would probably still be 200 pounds, but just chubby. Now that he like lifts, he like just boom. He touches a weight, dude. He goes up every single week. It's insane. He squats like 315 for like 20 reps. He literally put 100 pounds on his squat in less than a year. He put 40 pounds in his squat in like 2 sessions. And I'm not talking like going from like 200 to 225 or like something like that. He's literally repping out 315 and then now he squatted like 470. He got like 420 or something like that and then like a couple weeks later 470.
Yeah, it went up like insane. Well, and he
He's
took
like-
weeks off.
He's like, people are going to think I'm on steroids.
Maybe he is unknowingly.
Yeah, he's
What's
like
Dad doing?
he's like I'm going to get tested. I'm like you're 100% going to get tested at nationals. Like he has nationals in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And his lifts from a couple months ago at his last meet combined are probably, I think he said like over 100 or 200 pounds on all of his lifts.
Jesus.
Dude, it's insane. Like they say like there's not like much science behind it. It's a bro science, I guess you could say. Like people know like if they could compete in the Mr. Olympia after their first steroid cycle, like bodybuilders, Zach's one of them guys, like if he got on a cycle, he has the genetics where like
Mm-hmm.
he could be a professional bodybuilder, which I think he might go for. He's obsessed with it.
He's so obsessed. He says numbers like that, like you were saying. He did 380 for 4 sets of 10, and he
Oh, yeah, he
literally
knows.
passed out.
Yeah, he did squats the other day, like 5 sets of 10 at 60%, which was 315. 5
Yeah,
sets of
okay,
10.
that's what it was. But I walked into the gym, and Kyle goes, "Your brother's laying on the treadmill. He said he's resting." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he's laying down." I'm like, "Is he okay?"
He's literally like the videos where like you watch like a motivational lifting video and they're like, if you're not puking after squats, like you're not pushing yourself. That dude, he does it every time. Like he'll push himself like
My
till he's
favorite is when
dead.
he pushes himself so hard he farts.
Yeah, like he'll be like he'll get done with the set and he'll be like, well, at least I didn't shit myself. Dude, it's awesome though. Like I like seeing that. He just falls in. He's just so into it. It's awesome. Like he's like, it's like when somebody's finding their like passion. Like, dude, he's fine. I think he's fine.
It's also really cool because I feel like we had some sort of role in that.
Oh
me
yeah,
and you,
getting
because
him
he
into the
definitely
gym and
looked
stuff.
up to you.
Yeah, it's cool.
And
Yeah, it
I
is.
saw
like,
you
cool
in the
seeing
gym. Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when, I think it was like his freshman. He's only a sophomore in high school, by the way. He's my weight, dude. He's literally like probably bigger than I am. He's a sophomore.
That's insane.
It's awesome. But I remember like either his 8th grade or freshman year, we were getting him into powerlifting, and like 225 was like a lot, and he's like trying to go up each time. I'm like, dude, just be consistent with it. Like, it's gonna come. Like, just master it. Like, we just keep on critiquing his form, like getting him into it, and then all of a sudden he started like reading more articles and like just like getting into the nutrition. I told him, like, if you master that, like, that's when everything else is just gonna take off. And like, he still hasn't even got that down, where he's like, if he would eat like Matt used to eat,
Yeah.
dude, he would be Dylan. Like, he'd be putting 400 up. He benched 300 the other day. He went from like probably 2 months ago at like 275, and now he's at 300 already. Like, so to put 25 pounds on his bench just from.
I can barely bench the bar.
I remember he would look at me and Kyle, like, we'd be doing sets at 275, and he's like, holy crap. And I'm like, dude, you're not that far behind. And the fact that you just keep on like going up, like, you're going to be passing us very soon. And sure shit, he's getting there.
What do you bench?
This week I have to do 305 for 4 sets of 3. And I've hit my last week was 285 for 4 sets of 8. We did everything off percentages now. So I started it a couple weeks before we started 75 hard. And I think we started our first set, was a 60%. So we did our max. You start with like calculating your max, and we've never actually. Well, I've done it on a Smith machine, but I've never actually benched it on a free weight with 350. But like, I figured if we can set, so we could do 225 for 5 sets of 10. So that was what our first week was supposed to be at 60%. So then I did what 100% would be with 350 or 355.
Mm-hmm.
So now by week 16, that's what our max we'll have to try to max out at 355. And so far,
for 1 rep.
Yeah, so far through the 10 weeks I think it is, we've hit every single set. We haven't missed one. So we're either going to hit that 355 or higher. Or we're going to get 340 something, because once it gets that heavy, it's hard to your calculations might hit it and you might not, but I know that all my numbers are going up. Just one, I keep hitting my sets. 275 3 months ago would be tough for a set of 4. Why, I just had to do 4 sets of 8 at 285. So it's I'm hitting that, which is way more than what I was doing at 275. So I'm I'm crushing my weekly things. And then when I did my 285, I went up. At my last set, I put 315 on just to see if I could do it, and I hit it pretty easy. So I'm that used to be 315. I'd be oh fuck, it's just that mental barrier. Yeah. But now it's
315, 3 plates, right?
Yeah. Now it's just no, I'll hit that. Now I'm more worried when I have to do 4 sets or sets of 8 or something like that, where it's holy shit, this is gonna suck.
I thought I was doing good this week because I got 240 for 2.
Yeah, but you're starting all over, dude. You haven't lifted in a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lifting, I just haven't been. It's called progressive overload. You're supposed to always try to do slightly more reps or more weight each week.
Yeah.
So now we just did it off percentages, and if you do that, it might be 2.5 pounds, but if you do that for 4 sets, so say it's 5 pounds to make it easier. So if I do 3 sets of 5, that's 15 reps, right? But then the next week I add 5 more pounds. Well, now you did 5 more pounds for 15 reps, 15 times 5. So now you did that much more weight. You just keep on doing that every single week. And if all of a sudden, you're not going to add 2.5 pounds and try to do 20 more reps, well, now you just try to hit 22, say you did 20 reps, so now you're just trying to do 21 reps or 22 reps, that, in your whole workout. It's your whole workout sets that eventually add up. So like if you're doing 4 exercises and you do 3 sets for each exercise, 12 sets or whatever, 12 working sets, that's pretty light, honestly. Like I try to shoot like 18 or so like working sets. So then the next week I would try to do like 13 working sets, or it's 15 working sets. And then eventually if you're like at 18 working sets, or like, you know, like you're at like, that's a long workout, then you just try to go up a little bit more weight and still try to hit your 18. There's a ton of different ways to, like, I guess, progressively overload it. But you have to just figure out, like, you're not going to be able to keep putting weight on, well, then you have to just hit like another set of it until eventually you hit 2 or 3 more sets of that same number, where now you can add the weight. I used to just go in there and like whatever I felt that day, that's what I would do. Well, in the long run, like I'm not moving anywhere, you know, like the overall volume in a week or like a month, and then at end of a year, my volume could be less than it was the year before. But now each week I'm trying to add more, each month a little more, so that every year you gotta keep adding more of that volume, so that you're slow. Like, it's a slow growth, especially after I've been doing it for over 10 years. Like, I'm not gonna blow up like people that are new to it. In the first year or two, that's when you frickin' make newbie gains. Like, that's when you're gonna make a ton of progress. Like, a new lifter could put on 20 pounds in a year of lean mass. Like, that's how crazy it is, because your body's not used to that shit. You get what I'm like?
Yeah.
Like, that's why you see like somebody new in like a 1-year transformation, they can blow up. Like Zach, I told him, like, dude, you have to eat a ton and just keep lifting, because right now, like, you're just hitting puberty, like, really, and you're new to lifting. You combine those two and you start doing it right, that's when you're just gonna put, like, that's your biggest opportunity for growth, is right when you start. So just maximize that. And I'm like, I messed up on that, because I'm like, oh, I want to have abs, I want to be lean. Well, it's like, I should have been pounding the food, pounding the weights, like, took advantage of all that new growth opportunity, but like I didn't, because you wanted to look good or whatever in high school, or like,
Yeah.
I tell them, like, dude, don't worry about that.
You
Like,
lift 7 days a week?
I lift.
do you take
I
a
lift
off
at
day?
least 5, and then my Saturday, like, I'll use for like a body part that's like lagging. So like my shoulders are like always been a weak point. So now like I'll do a little bit more, so my volume at the end of the week is high. Like, so on my shoulder workout on like Thursday, I'll hit 18 sets or whatever. Well, then I try to get maybe 6 more sets. So then I'm at 21, or like, you know, like. So,
How do you track what you're doing and how many? Do you write it down in like a notes? Or...
Well, I just have like a 16-week plan on my percentages. Well, then I just use that, like, I use that on all my other lifts, really. So like if I'm doing pull-ups, so the first week I did 5 sets of 10 just at body weight pull-ups. Well, then if I hit them, I just add a little more. Like, maybe I'll do a couple, like 5 sets of 12, or I'll get like a weight and do weighted pull-ups. So like if all of a sudden I'm doing like a 4x5 or a 5x5 on bench, I'll try to do a 5x5 on pull-ups and then add weight. And like dips, I think I have to put like, 3 45-pound plates on a belt, and that's what you gotta do dips at.
345. That sounds like it's bad on your hips, because you put the belt on,
Kind of
right?
stretches my lower back though.
I suppose. I do like just hanging
Yeah.
too.
You're supposed to do that.
Stretch out.
You're supposed to just hang. They actually say that's really good for like your ligaments. You ever watch that one, Jay? I think
What?
Joe Rogan talks about that. Just a dead hang, like helps with like your grip strength, like stretches out your shoulders, your spine.
At Fire, that would be one of the things that you just have to hang out for a minute.
They say that it's like, well, this is more on like what's the word? what's the
I don't know what you're doing.
like evolutionary standpoint, they say, like they look at how like strong monkeys' joints are and their ligaments and stuff, and it's because they're always like hanging with, like overhead, you know. Well, they kind of relate that to like humans, like it's good for you to do that.
So they said like doing a monkey bars or something is good
Yeah,
for you?
yeah.
Just like
I
a
miss
straight
the
hang.
monkey bars.
Just a dead hang is like what they like talk about. You like grabbing the pull-up bar and just hanging there.
For how long?
Minutes if you can. I mean, a lot of people can't hang up there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But then like that's the same thing.
I
Just
feel like I could hang for a really long time.
You think that?
dude,
I not to
My
like
grip gives
discount
out.
you, but
my grip will give out.
it's
pretty
hard.
fast.
Think
Like-
it's your grip or like a
Oh,
shoulder type
oh hell
deal?
yeah, dude! It's my grip. You ever do like hanging leg raises for your abs?
No,
Oh, my leg,
I don't
my
do any ab work.
my
Mhm.
hands will give out. Usually, like I could
Not
use
after
like
that
like
45-minute one.
Yeah, that fucking.
deadlifting straps, like wrist straps to hold like. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't use those.
No, that's
I
what-
don't deadlift though either.
That's what I would use if I were to like do like hanging leg raise for abs. Like I'd have to use.
When Rogan was talking about that, you hang by your feet, and that was supposed to be good
Oh.
for like stretching out your spine
That's
and stuff.
that's another thing too. So they actually have
He
like
was talking
they have
about
like
something else.
inversion tables for that.
Yeah,
That was monkey bars. I was the shit. I could, go up there and hang upside down.
isn't that crazy though? Like how as a kid you can run around and be active and that,
Uh-huh.
and you never got tired because you were always having fun.
Yeah, and you
Dude,
liked it.
We used to
You have
play
all
at
this
we used to
energy.
play at Adam's farm all day long, like
Mhm.
from 7 in the morning until 2 in the morning, and we would get up and do it again. we would play
Ghosts in the Graveyard.
we
that
would
was my
yeah, so
favorite.
we'd play wolf. We'd call it wolf. Like
We big cops.
somebody
and
would be the
robbers.
wolf, and then someone would go look for you. And then if you got caught, you were now a wolf, and then you had like you guys combined would go look for people, and like, dude, we'd play this out on the farm. Like we'd be running into Rickards fields. Like we would play like multiple like basically a country block, like because they had like 40 some acres, and we'd run around in the wood. Like if you got really ballsy, you'd run in the woods, like which was away from the house quite a bit. And then there's like coyote dens and stuff in there, and you could hear them howling while you're like hiding, and you're 10 years old, like oh shit, like. But yeah, we would play all day long, like dodgeball, soccer, football.
And never got really tired.
No, dude, we.
'Cause you're having fun.
And then we would play like when Halo was big. We'd go take like basically like a lunch break, like or like basically what would happen is we'd play a sport. Somebody would get in a fight, they would fight, like full blown fist fights. Like we would be punching each other, and then we'd be like, all right, and we'd go inside and we'd play some Halo or something. Then we'd go in the pool, and then we'd be like, you guys want to play dodgeball? And then we'd go play dodgeball, and like we had like literally like 100 fucking different balls, and we would like. I think
Yeah.
that's how I got like a good arm, because we would just play dodgeball, and then all of a sudden we get in a fight. We'd have so many guys at that house, like so many kids. Like we would have multiple teams. We'd have tournaments, and it was so fun.
Remember when we played beer ball in El Dorado?
Yeah, at
That
the
was
diamond.
fun. That
Yeah,
was so fun.
Beer ball.
yeah. You had to hold. So we played baseball.
Was baseball or dodgeball?
No, we
Baseball.
played baseball
With a
at
tennis
Simon
ball, though.
Park. Yeah, we had a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And you put your beer on the chair at home plate, and the pitcher tried to hit your beer, and then you would be out, but you had to hit the ball. You had to bat opposite, I think, like lefty.
No, you batted normal.
But then every time you ran, you had to grab your beer and then run to the base. Like, and people always would forget to grab their beer off the chair and then run with it.
Yeah, so if you swung and missed and the pitcher hit your beer off the chair,
Then you're out.
Yeah.
And obviously 3-strike.
Yeah.
rule.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was
was
a
fun,
lot of
though.
fun. I actually had some Snapchats that I was looking through. I have a bunch from that. Yeah, like I think like Keegan, John, like Craig, you, like was Levin and those guys too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Grieve.
Yeah, we had a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I had a picture.
Enough for like two full teams,
teams,
like
yeah.
18, 20 people total.
That's fun. That's one. Okay, I guess like that when we go kind of back to like a little drinking thing, that is a lot of fun when you have like like when you are making it a sport or like doing that. Like I remember last 4th of July, like we set up the slip and slide and we were like
That was
doing
a lot of
that.
fun.
Like we had like 100-foot slip and slide and playing flip cup. Like that's
Slide down and then flip cup at the bottom.
yeah, that was
fun.
awesome. So Kyle's having a 3rd of July party out at the farm. Because that's when they have the Fisk fireworks, so he wants to have everybody out there for the night.
Well, and the 4th of July is on a Sunday,
And then I was thinking maybe we had
isn't it?
if we have off on Monday, I would like to have a party out here, like a cookout, and have everyone here on.
No boat this year, so you can't
No, yeah,
go
so
to
we'll just-
Norwegian.
Well, that's okay because the last 2 years we've gotten swimmer's itch.
I didn't.
A lot, I think.
We didn't go to Norwegian last year. We went
It
to
didn't
the park.
matter. I still got swimmer's itch. There was a few of us.
Yeah, I walked my phone in the lake.
Oh yeah, that's
See, that's the thing too. Like when we go to the lake, well, then everyone has to come back somewhere,
Mhm.
and then everyone's dead tired. And if you don't come right to the party, like
You're
half the
not
people
coming
won't
back.
show up. Yeah, because they'll be dead.
It's a long day.
Yeah, if we have off that Monday, I think we should have a cookout and stuff here.
Gonna happen.
Maybe I'll just take off on it, and that means I gotta get my side jobs in.
We'll see.
Or I could
We'll
set
see.
something up, like so I could just go strip forms or seal a driveway or something on that Monday. Do it in the afternoon. That way I'm still working.
I keep yawning.
What time is it?
9:02.
9. Dang.
Day flew by today
Yeah, it did. I was thinking
because I
that.
showed up late.
No, I was even like before I even went to by Kyle to do that bid this morning. I think it was like 7:30, and I was at the gym, and I'm like, how is it already 7:30? And then
I
get
was
to
up
Kyle.
at. You could have got up with me.
I literally got up like 30 minutes after you. It
What
still
time?
felt like my day was over so fast.
5:00. I left.
Oh, I got up at 6.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I thought you left at 5:30. How long's it been? We could probably wrap it up.
Probably a while. You got.
Hour 51 total.
Oh, nice quality. I thought we had some
That's
good.
gonna be a long walk when I listen to this one.
We had some decent content on this one. Any last words?
No.
We're gonna look into doing them T-shirts for sure. I know we have at least 10 loyal listeners.
Wow! Oh my
I
gosh.
saw on the statistics we have 10
What does loyal
10 viewers that
have watched? How many?
no
'Cause I'm wondering if-
no like
Oh,
it says like 10 unique ones that like people like
have never seen it before.
know that like have like seen like a couple of our
Okay,
like,
so
like,
I
come
could
back.
be. I could be a loyal listener. I haven't listened to them all, but guilty.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
could be. You should start listening. Maybe share it.
I literally have been.
I-
I was gonna share it. Listen here. I
The
had it on
first
my.
couple.
I had it on my story, and I was listening to the podcast, and I tagged you guys and your Instagram. Don't want to hear.
Really?
Yes. And I had it ready to post. I said, so proud of these guys. And I don't know what happened, but when I came back, it was gone, and I forgot that I didn't post it. And then the next day, I'm like, why didn't anybody say anything? And then I realized I never posted it. So I'll get there. And the next time that Matt comes back, we're hopefully going to be in the house for at least a couple days. So
We are gonna have to figure something out for the next episode. We can maybe do it like on a Friday, this Friday night,
oh, but that
because
we
I'm
need that special one too.
because I am going
What?
to. We have a very interesting podcast coming up
Oh yeah.
very soon. You guys are
You could
really
give him a
gonna.
little sneak peek.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Not even gonna give a hint.
Ooh, you guys are
gonna
not
like it.
ready for this. Okay.
This is gonna be a good one.
What's next week? Oh, because you want to start that job.
Yes.
Hmm.
So maybe Friday night. I think right after work. I think I'm gonna work out and get my workouts done in the morning, and then I'm gonna have to get all my stuff ready for Saturday morning, and then yeah, maybe we could do a little late night record or something like that just to get one in, or we could do it on a Sunday. But I might be working too, so I'd rather just try to get it done before I start doing all that.
Okay,
Yeah,
We'll talk about
Yeah, we'll plan something out. Hopefully we have some good news. Maybe we got some pre-releases, T-shirts. Maybe get some pre-orders in.
it.
I got that snap sent out.
But yeah, let us know if you guys would be interested in one. Just leave a comment on our. We'll put a picture up maybe on Instagram, or you can DM us if you'd be interested in what size, and maybe if you want a couple of them, or get a gift for somebody else. Thank you guys for sticking with us, listening into these.
All 10 of you.
Yeah. Well, actually, we got like
Hey.
50 views on some.
We appreciate each and every
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the 2 that we started with. You guys
which were Jason and Matt.
We're on 6 different platforms. Just go to whatever you guys use to listen to your music or your podcast, and we'll be on there. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, those are our main go-tos. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Jay, you got anything?
Nothing.
Thanks for
Fun.
having me. I hope to
Yeah.
be back.
Yeah.
Well, you will since
You
the
now-
studio's
I
going to
live
be
here.
in your house.
Yeah. Looking forward to finishing up the studio. in the
And
next
getting
couple weeks.
video. That'll be huge.
Yeah, we got to definitely figure that out. That's
Mhm.
going to be sweet. All right, well, have a good night.
Woo!